Hi, everybody.
Hello, beautiful people.
Wait,
Mandy, happy belated
wait.
birthday.
I gotta put my crown on. It's my birthday. Wait, I gotta put my crown on. Let me put it on right. It's gonna fall off. Hey, Steffi, how you doing?
Good, Mandy. Ooh,
Oh my goodness. I am so excited. Are you excited to be here tonight? I think we're all
super
excited.
excited. Like tonight, they got to be prepared and ready, right? Buckle up your seatbelt.
We have an amazing lineup for you guys. You gotta share, like, subscribe, share, tag your mother, tag your father, tag auntie them, the cousin, tag everyone. We have such an amazing show lineup, and we are just so super excited because we have a special guest with us tonight, and I'm just so excited. I'm going to give a quick background of how this came to be, and then we're going to bring this lovely guest of ours to the stage. So, the last episode was themed around love because it was February and it was about Valentine's Day. I hope everyone had a wonderful Valentine's. And I made a comment about holidays, and I said Valentine's Day is for women and holidays are for women. You know, what are they talking about? And this person in the chat was in strong disagreement of what I had to say. So being right, I think that's how it went. He gonna tell us otherwise, my memory. So we basically said, well, since you don't agree, you can feel free to come on up to the platform and come on and share your thoughts and your opinions with the rest of the people because we believe in a democratic society. Is that how it went, Steffi?
That's pretty much how it went. Yes, definitely. Free speech.
Yeah, we believe in free speech. We don't shut anyone down. But seriously, this person that is our co-host today, he is such an exceptional man of God. He's one of our brothers, and he's been rocking with the show from the inception. And we are just so excited to have him. It's just a phenomenal human being inside and out, and we're just blessed to have him here. So we're gonna introduce to you our co-host, none other than the dynamic and fabulous TJ Stewart. How you doing, TJ?
What's up, everybody? What's going on? Hey. I'm excited to be here. I have a different story about the whole February thing, but I'll just
share your story of how it went.
Yeah, I heard that Valentine's Day was for only women, and being a good man myself, who likes a good gift, I just thought, I'm like, hey, well, it's for men too, so let me speak up for the brothers. But no, it's I'm glad to be here, guys. I'm glad to be here. Thank you guys for having me. I count it as an honor and a privilege to share this platform with you ladies. I think we're in for a good treat tonight.
Yes, we are. We are going to be talking about, are we vetting properly? We think it's a topic that's worth discussing, especially as single individuals that are living safe and according to the biblical standards. And we date, so or we're supposed to, if you desire to get married, you'll be dating. And I just think that sometimes we may not know what the proper steps are to
Right.
determine if this person's a suitable mate or not. So what we're gonna do is that before we even delve into the topic, we're gonna give a quick commercial break so that you can know a little bit about the engine behind living single and safe. It's being brought to you by Latter Rain Apostolic Prayer Hub. So we're gonna do a quick commercial break so that you can get to know the organization behind living single and safe, and we're going to come in and jump right in. We have such a beautiful lineup for you guys, so you don't want to miss it. So
There you
we'll
go.
be right.
Share. I'm sorry.
So we'll be right back, y'all.
This program is brought to you by the Latter Rain Apostolic Worldwide Prayer Hub, the place where the intercessors gather. This is a hub that equips disciples, commissions, and sends them out to do the works of Christ Jesus through the fivefold giftings. We are honored that you have joined us today. Get connected today by visiting our website at www.latterrainapww.org and subscribe to our mailing list. Join us for our weekly prayer meetings on Mondays, Wednesday, and Fridays at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Clubhouse.
Embark on a journey of a lifetime with our spectacular travel agent trip to the United Kingdom. Discover the breathtaking beauty of the United Kingdom, where lush green landscapes, historic castles, and charming villages await you. Explore the grandeur of Buckingham Palace, marvel at the ancient wonders of Stonehenge, and experience the vibrant art scene in cities like Edinburgh and London. Seize the opportunity to make memories that will last a lifetime. Book your travel trip to the United Kingdom today by visiting www.abundantgracetravels.com. The United Kingdom is calling. Answer the call. Your adventure awaits.
Awesome stuff. So as you can see, we are brought to you here by Latter Rain Apostolic Prayer Hub. We meet Monday, Wednesdays, Friday, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Some people say that's early in the morning, but we got to rise. Early we rise.
Early.
TJ be rolling in, but like, man, this is too early.
I'll be trying.
So our topic for today is, are we vetting properly? What does vetting mean, y'all? What is vetting? What does vetting mean?
Go ahead. You put us on the spot. But
Yeah.
I think it's basic. Oh, yeah. It's basically you just, for lack of a better word, scoping out somebody and, seeing what traits you like, what values, what morals, that type of stuff, in my own personal explanation of what I think vetting is.
TJ?
Yeah, I agree. I think vetting is so important. I think really what it boils down to is you knowing yourself, and you knowing what works for you under the direction of the Holy Spirit, under the direction of God, knowing what's good for you, what's not good for you, and just really being in a position to say, hey, I can see clearly, I can acknowledge these things, and just respectfully be able to weed out the things that just doesn't work for you.
This is beautiful. As individuals that are taking a stance for living according to biblical standards, we believe in holiness, and we believe that there's just a certain way we need to govern ourselves as single individuals, right? But what brought this topic along? Because we're going to delve into what is bedding, what are the dynamics of it? Are we doing it correctly? I'm not, what are some things you look for when you're looking for a suitable mate that could potentially be a lifelong partner? But what brought this topic, y'all, together? I don't know. I don't know if y'all seen this video. There's like two topics recently that went extremely viral on social media, and there is this it was this TikTok series. It turned into a series about who the heck did I marry? I don't know if y'all saw that, but if you
I,
did you see it, Steffi?
I didn't see it, okay? But everyone else around me saw it. And one of my coworkers was like, sorry, before you get in, she was like, when Dr. Miami said I had to reschedule my patients in order to see it, I had to see it. So I'm like, okay, so tell me what it is, because I ain't got time to look at it. She's like, I'm not telling you. You have to see for yourself.
Yeah,
What about you?
I saw bits and pieces of it. It was a lot. So I just was like, wait.
It was.
It was a
It
lot.
really was. She had like over 50 parts. I didn't sit down and watch all 50 parts because people was like, this is hours upon hours of content. So I watched the condensed version. Someone did all the watching and gave us a summary. So basically, it was this story of this woman. She came on TikTok, just sharing her experience of someone that she married. And she shared the topic or story about how she met this guy and they went on a date. This was right before they shut down the country due to the pandemic. They went on a date and everything went wonderful. And then the following week is when everyone had to go into quarantine. And she said to him, like, hey, we get along very well. Y'all tell me if I'm doing it right in the audience, if I'm recapping it correctly. But she says, we get along very well. Like, are we're quarantined together. Are you going to quarantine at my house or are we going to quarantine at your house? And this is someone who professed to be a Christian, so this is someone who professed to be a Christian. But she basically was like, we quarantine, you come. Yeah,
Hold
go
on.
ahead.
So she suggested it to him.
Yeah, it was her idea.
Okay. Interesting.
So, and this was just after them meeting one or 2 weeks in person. So this just met this guy, and eventually they agreed to quarantine at her house because she had like a bigger space. Yes.
Wow.
Long story short, she goes on this whole story about different incidents that start to happen. Like there were stories about eventually they basically he moved in permanently, and at one point she had gotten pregnant, lost the baby, and then they started looking for houses to buy, and it turns out that he ended up being an entire pathological liar. He lied about his occupation, he lied about his siblings, he lied about somebody dying. It was bananas, right?
Okay,
Wow.
hold on. You can go first, teacher, because I see like something's bubbling for you to see.
Listen, there's just so many things. There's so many things that just stand out to me right there. And I guess it's just me as a man.
Mhm.
It would have been hard for me to just up and just move in with her in her house. I'm not trying to be cliche-ish, but I would have been very, very uncomfortable. So yeah, that's interesting to me. But it also shows us just in that bit that there are a lot of things that come out when you share space with somebody.
Mhm.
You share space with somebody, there are things that come out that you did not see at first, or you may have seen, but because of your love and because you're so like, oh, I love this person.
Lust. Sorry.
Ah,
You overlook, you overlook, and that's important. So
I
Okay.
agree. She said lust.
No lust. Okay, first off, you know this person in only a few weeks. Why do you think it's wise to tell them that they can come stay at your house?
I don't know. You have to ask Tessa.
I really want to watch it because I really want to hear from her own perspective. Why? And because, and this is so sad, right? This is coming from my opinion as a peer educator. This is things you do when you're a teenager and you know no better. Okay. Some boy buys you a nice little piece of chocolate and a flower and he says, "Oh, I love you." And you're like, "Oh, baby, I love you too."
Well,
But
well, well, to add a little bit layer to this, because she says in retrospect, she looking back at it, she knows that she made a lot of mistakes. But I
Yeah.
believe one of the reasons why this happened is she looked at it as I am single. I desire to one day have a family of my own and have but I'm getting older. So like, and she might not have been someone's call it the fat girl tendency, And that's what they said, the fat girl syndrome or the fat girl tendency. And she might not have been someone that got the most amount of attention from suitors. So here you go, you find someone that's showing you attention and you're like, let me latch on to this person because I don't have a long line of guys that's checking for me. So I think she made a lot of these decisions from a place of loneliness, to be honest.
Yeah.
You'll be amazed of the decisions we make when we're lonely.
Yeah.
no, I totally agree. Oh, go ahead,
No,
TJ.
go ahead, Steph. Go ahead. Oh, I was gonna just piggyback off what Mandy was saying. I think that, yes, we can say like, oh, like she shouldn't have did this, she shouldn't have did that. But I think in the life that we all have to live in our various lives, there are a lot of things that we know that we shouldn't have done or we shouldn't do. But some things are just to our eye in the moment beneficial to us, whether it's physically, whether it's emotionally. And I think women and men deal with this. I would even say men deal with this even more than women. There's a lot of things that we shouldn't do, or there's a lot of ways we shouldn't be, but because of society, because of wanting to fit in, because of wanting to uphold this standard or uphold this status, we do it, especially Christian men and women. But
Absolutely.
that's another topic. Yeah.
So as you're talking, and both of you, something that came to mind, and I'm kind of reading the comments as well at the same time. It's kind of sad, and this is from just a personal perspective. It's sad because I think a lot of times people feel pressured into finding a significant other, or I want to get married by a certain time. I want to have the nice, well, she had the house, is what she said already, right? I have the nice house. I want to make this complete. And honestly, until you are complete yourself, it is very hard for you to ask somebody else to come in and complete you. And Mandy, you said she had the fat girl syndrome. Obviously, I don't know what that's.
Well, that's what they said. That's
they
what someone said.
Right. What they said. Yeah, we won't do now.
Whoever they are. It ain't no dig to no fat girl syndrome, because I'm a fluffy, beautiful queen, and it's my birthday,
Yes,
so I got my
yes.
crown. But I agree, and it's beyond that. It goes to the low self-esteem, and loneliness is a heck of a thing. Loneliness is a heck of a thing, because I myself have entertained certain characters that I'm looking back, I'm like, what were you thinking? Like, what were you doing over there, Amanda? That weren't worth my time, but I was lonely. I saw everybody is in these relationships, and everyone, you go on social media. TJ, did you see your mom? She's like, hello, baby. God bless you.
I
See
see
your
her. Of course, it's gonna be there. Of course, I see it.
But you scroll on social media and you see everyone posting up their pictures of them and their husband and their kids and everything. So I just think she became not exonerating and not excusing what happened in that scenario, but I just think she became caught up in a
Okay.
romance. She got caught. Yes, I said fluffy. Yes, fluffy, plushously plump, beautiful queen.
I think it's a very normal thing. I think it's a very normal thing, and that's what I want to get across to our listeners tonight. I think it's a very, very, very normal thing, and no one, not saying we are, but no one can sit in a place of judgment, because like I said, we've all been there. Even some personal, individual things that has nothing to do with relationships, right? There's nothing to do with a man or a woman. Respectively, and I think that we all have been in that place to where we have said, hey, this feeling is overwhelming.
Mhm.
And, I need something to fill it. I need something to fill it. And the thing is, it's like, okay, you can say, okay, God can be your filler, pray, fast, do these things. And these things do work.
Mhm,
However,
mhm.
however, there are times, if we're just completely honest, there are times when we need a little extra, where we need something else to kind of draw our minds away, whether it's reading the word, whether it's going into a Bible study, whether it's spending some time with ourselves, whatever the case may be, respective to whatever the issue is. So yeah, I think, like I said, I think we all have been there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what happened in this young lady's situation? So they quarantined, they start living together. Obviously, they started having sex together before being married. You already know how we are on that position. We believe in abstaining until you're married. That's just our beliefs over here in Holy Land. But because she was a Christian, she felt like, convicted. And she was like, I think we need to fix this. So eventually they decided to get married, with less than a year of knowing this person, they got married. And then all of a sudden she starts to pay attention, and these red flags starts to pop up out of nowhere. It's just, she start realizing he's not following through on these commitments. Like, they started trying to find houses, and it would be the weirdest stories and weirdest nuances that will allow these things not to materialize. And same thing with, so what she ended up doing is she was like, we need counseling. Somebody just asked, well, where was her wise counseling?
Yeah.
They end up going to couple. Yes, I have people in the chat that have seen that. So someone's put proof of funds. So what happened? Just so you know, let me give you the quick. I'm gonna give you out the story. So what happens is, when you're going through to buy the house, after you're gonna make an offer, you're supposed to show proof of funds that you're basically showing that you can afford to pay for this house. And he says, I'm paying it out cash. So the seller was like, show me the money. And he's like, I'm not showing you the money until you sign the offer letter. And they're like, whoa, homie. I'm a little bit animated. It's like, whoa, homie, like, this don't make sense. Show us the bank statements that you have the money that you can afford. And he was adamant about, I'm not showing anything until you sign the offer letter. So long story, this seller, and it was multiple sellers because this happened over and over. So eventually the seller was like, we're not doing this. We're going to find somebody else that's serious and blah, blah, blah. And people she started asking, like, why don't you just show them the money if you have the money in your bank account? Like, this is not a big issue. So things like that started happening. And eventually they decided to go to couples therapy, and they started having conversation. There was a conversation about her wanting to see the bank account, and he was adamant about not showing the bank account. At this point, this was her husband, and he was like, I'm not showing you my bank account. And long story short, the pastors was like, y'all not gonna make it. He was like, y'all not gonna make it, long story short.
But I think it's, I was just gonna say, I see people in the comments, about talking about her wise counsel. And I think it's very great, but sometimes you got to vet your wise counsel. You have to know exactly who is anointed and appointed to speak into your life. And everybody that seems like they're wise counsel aren't wise counsel. And I know that from experience. There have been a lot of people in my life who came off as wise counsel, and because I thought they had my best interest at heart, because I thought that they've been through certain situations that I've been through, I'm thinking, okay, this person can know something. And of course you can say, oh, well, that's my own position and me being naive to just anybody, but it's a real thing. We throw that wise counsel word out there so very much, but we have to vet our wise counsel. How did you come out of your situation? What was it that made you successful in crossing that bridge? Not just the fact that I see that you're over. How did you get over? What was it that unlocked the door for you? We need to know these things. So
that's true.
Wise counsel is great, don't get me wrong, but we got to vet wise counsel too.
But you also know that, okay, we're all adults. And if we be honest, there's some of us that when our mind is made up to do something, our mind is made up. So, you get all the wise counsel and everyone is telling you, like that whole incident with Portia Williams too as well, and Simon, when everyone was telling her, don't marry that man, don't marry that man. But her mind was made up. And sometimes, some of us a little bit stubborn. They said a hard head makes for a soft bottom. When our minds is made up, so you can even get all the wise counseling. Some people, when their mind is made up, and they're gonna do whatever they want to do.
Yeah, that's true.
Definitely. I feel like just hearing the bits and pieces from the story and stories, because y'all, I don't really be on social media like that. But yeah, no, just hearing the bits and pieces from it. To be truthfully honest, you said she started seeing the red flags after. There's red flags right there in your sight when you're going through something. But like you said, Mandy, you tend to have your mind made up. You tend to want to do what you want to do. And everybody else that might be around you seeing those red flags, it's going to be going off in their heads. And you're just like, no, I'm in La La Land. I'm in Delulu. He loves me. Everything's great. The money's great. No, you saw it. This is not
I love that you mentioned red flags and the money is great, because we're going to pick this up. What we're going to do, because we're going to talk about red flags, we're going to pause right here, because I think this is so great, because this goes with our theme. So are y'all enjoying the conversation in the comment section? Y'all let us know if y'all enjoying the conversation. You enjoying the conversation?
Seems like they are.
So what we're going to do, we're going to have our first featured artist, this Living Single and Save, and we love to jam over here. So what we're going to do is that we're going to have our first featured artist. As y'all know, TJ is an artist. He has his first single out, but we're going to feature him later on. But he's coming later on. He's going to wreck the show. But our first featured artist is this phenomenal angel. Her name is Vicki Sanders, and she comes from Texas. And she just released, I think it's a few weeks old, a single called Made. So bringing none other, we're going to have her song played. And then after that, we're going to have our first lifestyle tip or moment. And it's going to be food for thought, nutritional insight that Steffi's going to run. So we're going to have our featured artist. If you're enjoying this conversation, don't forget to tag, like, share, comment, and get the word out about Living Single. We are here and we are live. So introducing none other than Vicki Sanders with Made.
Created by the hand of God, you search me and you know my heart. Wonderful are your works, oh God. You fashioned me, you gave me your breath to breathe, the giver of life, creator of all things. Incredible is your love for me. Made in your likeness and your image, oh God. I will praise thee, oh God, for I am. Not focused on my inadequacies. Authority, Lord, you gave to me. I have identity, and now I walk in liberty. You don't make mistakes. I am unique. There is no one on this earth like me. And he won't hinder me. I will praise thee. one on this earth like me. Don't even try, because me, you could never be. We all have our own unique purpose in life. And if we really knew who we were, there would be no strife. Purposely designed by God, and no, He did not make a mistake. Embracing the love of the Father every morning when I wake. Say what you want to say, hey, and that's okay. I know I am a part of a beautiful bouquet. God, hide me under your wings and be my shade. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
First off, let me say, I hope you went ahead and scanned that QR code, because we are definitely fearfully and wonderfully made, okay? So, as always, this is your, Mandy came up with this really cool name, so let me try to read it. Food for Thought Nutritional Insights, okay? So the tip for the month. So it is Women's Month. So shout out to all the females. Thank you for bringing all of us beautiful people into the world, right? So let's kind of focus on the females for a while. So 5 things women should do to stay healthy. Find workouts that you like. I know last time we left, I was saying to you guys, try to at least do something 30 minutes a day. Make it a part of your weekly routine. Get screened regularly for diseases. It's very important that you make time for yourself and that you pay attention to what you're eating. A balanced diet is key. I will not stress that over and over again too much. But then definitely practice healthy behaviors as well. So about nutrition, because that's why we're here, right? Regardless of a woman's age, nutrition experts generally recommend a diet that is focused on fruits, vegetables, fiber, and protein. Your physician can direct you. More importantly, your dietitian or nutritionist can direct you, to be truthfully honest, to choose My Plate, which is on the USDA site. They can actually walk you through as well how you get the servings that you need. Like, we're supposed to have at least half of our plates be fruits and vegetables, all these great stuff. When you think of it too, because nutrition helps you support the lifelong journey and helps you support everything from the time you're a baby. Specifically for women of childbearing age, they need foods that are filled with folic acid, like your green leafy vegetables, beans, citrus fruits, because they help to prevent birth defects. And let's be honest, we all want to make sure that if you're in childbearing age, especially since this is single and saved, you're preparing for your next, right? For women who have gone through menopause, it's recommended that you increase your intake of foods with calcium and vitamin D, such as seafood, fruits, low-fat dairy, and egg yolks, in order to prevent disease, specifically bone disease. So again, this is your nutrition tip of the month. I am Steffi, and thank you for joining us on Single and Saved.
Get ready to be mesmerized as we proudly present our featured artist for Latter Rain's 2024 Worship and Prayer Conference, TJ Stewart. TJ is a powerful psalmist and minstrel who is passionate about worship. With his debut single, Sovereign God, TJ has impacted countless lives, reminding them that we serve a God who is still in control. Prepare to be captivated by the dynamic lineup and life-changing God encounters that will transpire throughout the conference. This is an experience you won't want to miss. Mark your calendars for May 24th and 25th, and join us for an unforgettable weekend filled with worship, prayer, and prophecy. Tickets for this exclusive event is available now. Visit www.latterrainapww.org to reserve your spot today. Spaces are limited, so don't wait. Don't miss out on this opportunity to experience the ministry gifting of TJ Stewart.
Lord, you reign.
Great tip of the month, Steffi. I enjoy. And thank you so much for reminding us that March is Women's Month. So we honor all the wonderful women, history, present, future, that has made an impact on our lives. Great job,
Yeah,
Steffi.
yeah.
But jumping right back into it, we left off about red flags and about finances because I think one of the things that really drew her in, even though he was lying about his money and everything, was that he was paying all the bills. He was paying all of the bills, and
See, this is what I say. Money is the root of all evil, because I didn't even know it had to do with money. But typically, that's where it stems from, people going like, "Ooh," and Lulu.
Yeah. Actually, I'm so glad you said that, Steffi, because a lot of us think like that, right? That money is the root, but it is actually the love.
Love of money. I agree.
And what is so important, and I say this all the time when I'm talking about relationships or what have you. What's so important is that some of our sisters would go and just be mesmerized because a man has a lot of money and he has a lot of assets. And to the eye, he can look right. And to the eye, he can look very appealing, right? Looks are easy, but looks fade, And I tell my friends all the time, listen, don't look at a man's money, look at his priorities. Because if his priorities are in order, then the money will do him justice. And that's kind of what you want to look for. But, a lot of women, especially in our generation, that's what they want. They don't want to work. They don't want to go to work at all. They just want a man to take care of them. And, it doesn't work like that all the time.
I'm gonna stick a pin for a second. It's not just the women these days.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They do have this new generation or a new group. I don't know, TJ, but they call them the hobosexuals. It's not homo, it's hobosexuals, and these are men that they will flip you up and down to get a house, to have a place to stay and to live. But TJ, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I'm not, y'all. Don't judge me. I'm not saying that this is my stance. I'm just asking a question. So, are you saying that money is not important at all in the dynamic of a successful relationship? Don't isn't that supposed to be one of the things that we do vet when we're looking for a suitable mate? Can he provide for us, or are they good with their money? Isn't that something that we should look into when we're vetting someone?
You know what? I'm gonna get ate up for this. I already know. I'm staying on business. I think it is very important. Money is important. We all know and understand that it is very important. You need it to live. You need it to, succeed in life and things of that nature. So I'm not saying it's not important, but what I am saying is that I can be a billionaire, but if I care nothing about you, that money means nothing. If you're not on my priority list, then it's what's the point? You don't benefit from the money. I mean, you could benefit with your friends and say, hey, well, my man is rich. My man got money. My man owns this. My man is a lawyer, a doctor, or whatever the case may be. But if you're not benefiting from that, then what's the real flex here? What's the flex? I'm just a person, and because of my own experience, I'm just a person who thinks about priorities. And a man that is really into you, a man that really sees something in you and wants something to work with you, he will add you into that priority list. So if you are benefiting from this man having his priorities in order, then now we can talk about how much money your man makes and what your man is doing with all of this money, and this is what he got me, and that is what he got me. But if he doesn't like you, if he's not into you, if he treats you like garbage, if he has no respect for you in private or in public, then what's the real flex?
No bills. No one likes to pay bills.
Man.
No,
I never like. I'm gonna pay no bill.
So
That's for some people that's a good enough flex. Treat me like a dog, but at least I don't gotta pay no bills.
No, that's not okay. It's
Yeah,
not okay.
and that is the real mindset of some of our brothers and sisters. You know, and I'm not gonna lie, it's the men too. Some men say, "Hey, man, look, I don't want a broke woman. You know, I want to sit at home and chill and be able to fish all day and be able to play the game. You know what I'm saying? And I want my woman to do that. I want my woman to go and work. I'm not on that side, but you know, it's true and it's out there. So
You know, they might say, as in the words of the prophet group, Destiny's Child, can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bills? Can you pay my
oh my god,
oh
oh my gosh, yeah.
So I think the money was one thing that blinded her, and then the other thing that also allowed her to move beyond properly vetting this guy was that they were having sex as well. What do you guys think about that? Because I believe, see someone laughing, you know, bills can't pay my bills. Okay, because I think there are certain things that if you don't follow the proper blueprint, and we could discuss what that looks like from a Christian standpoint, I think there are certain measures that God puts in place so that we can do things properly. And I think whenever we deviate from that design, we run into errors or into mishaps like this young lady experienced. The other thing that happened was that they were having sex. They were having sex. They were sleeping together and before they got married. And I do believe there are certain things you should refrain from because you having sex can also blind you. What do y'all think about the impact of that?
Definitely. Okay. So Mandy, you already know, right? Because you've been on this little crazy journey of mine.
Oh, are we gonna get an update, y'all? You know, last month. I'm sorry to cut you off. We need an update, y'all. The last episode, we were talking to Steffi because she would be dating, and she was trying to wear homeless, feeding people clothes on a first date. So, are we gonna get an update? Are we gonna get an update? Okay, go ahead.
Sure. Okay. So, goodness gracious, so we went on the first date, then the second date. But this actually draws me into what I was going to say, actually, right? I used to say when I was a teenager, do not uptown shop because uptown shop leads to downtown business. So when I think of that, and the reason why I started chuckling is because I remember that's what this person wanted to do on the second date.
Are you serious? This guy, the new guy? Oh, kick him to the curb, man.
Exactly. So I called her. She's like, no, you gotta give him another chance. Maybe he's really into you, Steffi. And I'm like, what? Know your values, people. Stand on them. Stand on your morals. And I mean, outside of it, like I said, I used to be a peer educator, so I've seen it, heard it, personally not experienced it, thank God, right? But I don't want anybody going out here thinking, oh, it's okay. The rest of the world is doing it. You be the only one that's not then, right? Mm-hmm. You be the only one that's not. Because, like you said, and I think any physical touch, to be honest with you, not just sex, but just any physical touch, you're already opening a door for something else. So just be mindful.
So you trying to say we can hold hands? We can
how long you person. Make sure that you vet them.
No high-fiving.
Make sure you vet them.
You know,
oh gosh, go ahead, TJ.
No,
I got question in there.
I said no because she was like, just throw him away. And I don't believe you should do that because a man and a woman, we are a lot of things in life, right? But we're human. And attraction is a very normal thing. You know, I think that the church has done a great job with implementing this idea that you can't be attracted to anybody, right? As a man, I can't be attracted to anybody. It's almost like, oh my gosh, if I say, hey, this young lady has a wonderful looking body. Oh no, hell, you know, and it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. I think.
Wait, I'm sorry, TJ. How they do?
Hell. You're going. But in all seriousness, I think and this is kind of going into a different topic, so I won't go deep.
Mhm.
But I do think that you, as my sisters, I believe that you all should be open and ready for when a man is attracted to you. Listen, you were made by God. God took his time to make each and every one of you. There's going to be a man out there that says, you know what? I love the way you smile. I love how my body feels when you hold my hand. I love the hug, the warm embrace of a hug when you hug me. And I think we, right, have to be strong enough to navigate that. So don't exit out. Navigate it effectively.
Okay, hear me out though, right? You barely know me, and I go see my
right.
dentist often. No, not you. Just like this person.
She's talking about the guy.
Right?
Oh, okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
How do you brush my teeth?
They what that don't mean nothing.
No.
Some of these guys. Okay,
Comment. Sorry, somebody asked in the comment. Can Christians kiss when dating? I think
That's-
they can if you've
Yes.
vetted the person
Yes.
and you
Yes, they
know
can.
them.
okay. Are they can they kiss right away? Is there like a time period? 'Cause, people kiss on the first day. Like when is it allowed? When
Each
are they allowed?
person will have their own viewpoint, right? Because we all got our own values, we all got our own morals. Like I said to you guys, all jokes aside, I always told people no uptown shopping because it leads to downtown business. My last boyfriend, if he's on this live, which me and him, like, we're still cool,
Ooh.
he waited a good 7 months before he could kiss or touch me. Okay. It's just
I don't think that's normal. Is that normal?
that's
Teach?
okay.
Is that normal? I don't think that's normal.
That's a long time.
normal. Kill
But
the
you know,
norm.
my thing is this, right? I say this. We ask for seriousness. We ask for authenticity. We ask for all these things, and I'm not saying sex. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. But for me to be attracted to you to the point where I want to share a kiss with you, I think that's perfectly normal. Again, it is a conversation that should be had between the two to say, hey, like Steffi said, and then Steffi, I commend you because you're standing on your morals. You're standing on what you believe. Hey, I know if someone kissed me, then I'm ready, and that may be for you, but for another person, it may be a sign of affection, of good affection. I think it's a conversation that should be had to say, can I handle this? Am I able to mentally, physically, and emotionally handle this kiss or this hug or this touch on the thigh or this handhold? It's all about you. Yeah,
I agree. But did he just slide the touch on the thigh? I agree, TJ. Though I think a lot of us have to really be honest with where we are. Some people, they can handle a kiss and it doesn't do anything to them, right? But then some of us, if they kiss you, you're pregnant, and you got, you gotta be honest with where they used to say don't kiss because it'll lead to babies. So you really got to be honest with where you are from a maturity standpoint. And the other thing is you also have to be honest with what are you comfortable with doing, because maybe that person might say, I want to kiss you, and you might not be comfortable. You might not be there yet. And it's okay to express like, I'm not there yet. And that's also a test to see how that person respond. Will they respect your boundaries or will they try to push past your boundaries? Because then that will also reveal a little bit more details of who you're talking to.
Yeah, I would agree. I will also add this too, because I saw something in the comments, and this is it's a little, just one little statement, but it is so powerful. It says, men are different.
I knew he was going to read it.
Men are different. And here's what I'll say. Life is not, and I want to be clear, life is not as long as it used to be. And what I mean by that is, I don't know about you all, but when I was younger, like younger than what I am now, it's like life seems so long. I had time. I had time to get married. I had time to make all the money I wanted to make. I had so much time, but now the reality is, all jokes aside, the reality is people are dying literally left and right. And the perspective of men now are totally different. And so when you say, I want something serious, our way to show you that we're serious is very limited now, because we don't have that comfortability anymore. We don't have that, oh, I got time. Let's give it 8 months. Let's give it a year. I don't have that time. I don't know. Men die at a higher rate than women, and we just don't know. Tomorrow can be my last day, and there'll be so many regrets, so many things I want to do, or we may not just work. We may not work out, right? We may not be compatible, and there'll be so many things I wish I would have done. I wish I would have said that. I wish I would have made that move to kiss her, right? I wish I would have made that move to show her that I'm respecting of her boundaries, but I'm serious about her as well. You understand what I'm saying? So men are different. We need that love. We need that affection. But again, it is a conversation to be had based on your boundaries.
So I'm going to read a comment. We got to stop thinking everything leads to sex. That's purity culture, not scripture. Self-control is free for every believer. That's why I started out by saying, too, it's your own morals and values, right? When we think about it, just because I'm saying what I did doesn't mean I think I'm holier than thou.
Right.
Right? Like, or that, oh, scripturally, no. I just know that there are certain things that have ramifications because you do it. And it's funny that Amanda, because somebody else said something to the top, but it's funny that Amanda talked about sex leading to babies. Back home, they used to say, oh God, there's a clothespin, or she's a clothespin. You pin the top and the bottom opens, right? Okay. But you know,
I got to find me a clothespin. I got to see. That's good. That's good.
Right?
That's good.
I say that to say, each person, you have to, and this is my plea to everybody listening, right? Irrespective of whatever you've done in the past, etc. Just know that as you get comfortable with somebody, obviously things start progressing, right?
Yeah.
But you have to remain true to you. So if you set boundaries from the beginning and you're like, this, I think by 4 or 5, then I'm going to talk to you like this, or then I'm going to go to sleep with you on the phone. Like, I'm going to get more, you know what I mean? Then those are your values. Those are your own perspectives and notions and whatever you want to go through. So do not, right? Do not take anything that we say as like, I want you to do this because I did it. No. Everything you hear here is just the truth. You know what I mean? We're sharing because we need to have
these conversations.
Like, self-protection. We have to have these conversations because people will be like, it's so taboo. I know in a Caribbean household and we don't speak about sex.
No, we don't.
Right? Like, and so it gets very uncomfortable for people. You don't want your children or people that are connected to you learning from outside people. You have few people that, like, I'm going to throw myself out there for a little while, you know, that actually go and because I like science, you try to figure everything else out and you're like, oh, but every microbe that is forming in my mouth, etc., I need to know what microbes are in your mouth before I kiss you. Like, you know what I mean?
Now, Steffi, I do have to say I am in agreement with you because today's age, people put their mouth on any kind of thing. So I am in agreement. You know?
So let me piggy it back though. But yeah, like I'm not saying. Somebody asked, what should be considered standards for purity regardless of culture? Again, it's dependent on you. Because again, I wasn't told the birds and the bees. I don't think even in the African American culture, people sit down and talk about the birds and the bees. I know from a Caribbean perspective where there's East Indians, there's Africans, there's Chinese, there's Portuguese, there's Iranians, there's a whole bunch of blend and mix and pot. We still don't talk about it, right? And so you don't want people going out there perceiving, oh, this is purity, or you need to do this in order to say that you walk the Christian walk. I think, and again, I'm pleading because on my own, you got to know who you are, figure out who you are first, and then give that person to the rest of the world.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Knowing who you are and then
Right.
give to the world. That is so good. And I think to piggyback on that, to answer the question as well, I think it all boils down to the standards of you. The standard, just like you were saying, Stephanie, the standards of you, which then boils down to knowing yourself in totality, knowing how you react, knowing how you respond, knowing what things trigger certain feelings, knowing what things you can and cannot do. I think, and this is just me, I'm not saying this is in stone, but this is just me. I think the parameters of purity is subjective to the one who believes those parameters.
I have a question about that though, TJ, because we live in a day and age where a lot of things are blurred. Like we are being told right is wrong, wrong is right, and you know,
That's true. That's true.
and I think we are getting to a place where it's getting out of control a little bit. So I understand having it be subjective or relative to that person, because I'm thinking of the scripture where it says let everyone work their salvation out with fear and trembling. But even in all of that, because I don't believe you're supposed to browbeat or be like, this is how we do. You know, back in the days, they used to be very dogmatic. You're not allowed to wear pants. You're not allowed to do all these things and everything. And now we live in a place where, you know, we're a little bit loosey-goosey. It's starting to seem as though everything goes. So even though we're saying it's relative to that person, I still think that there should be a metric, something there should still be something that says this is the standard, this is what it is, and this is where we are pressing towards. Like, this is it, you know. So what is that? What is it? What is the this?
Go ahead, Steph. I'll answer you.
Let me raise my hand real quick. Teacher, can I raise? Okay. Okay.
What's the baseline? Like, what's the baseline?
You see, I'm trying not to give too much, because I've also been told you're Miss Goody Two Shoes, you're this, you're that in like past, right? On the back of my mind, I still have that. But outside of that as well, someone said in the comment, it's not having sex before marriage. Now, people who may not be a virgin will take that offensively, right? Which is why I say, like, you have to kind of know yourself and know where you're at, if that makes sense. So yes, there are certain things that you shouldn't do, and culturally, if you are in the word or, you know, scriptures, and you're doing these things and you're trying to obey, you'll kind of find what those things are, is what I'm trying to lead in. Because nobody's gonna have, there's no manual, there's no transcript, there's no you know what I mean?
We do got the Bible, you know. I think that's a manual.
It is a manual.
You don't do that.
It is a manual.
It is a manual. It's supposed to guide us.
There's so many translations too that people will be like, well, this one says this and that one says that. But what I'm coming to, or what I'm trying to say really and truly, is that yes, there are things that you shouldn't do, right? I think you have to be real with yourself. What are those things? And we know it, because your conscience is going to be pricking you the entire time you're doing it, whatever it is. You okay? That little voice in your head will be like, you know, this is wrong. Hey, you, stop that, right? But you still might ignore it and be like, oh, this feels good. I'm in Delulu. I love that word, by the way. I learned that Delulu word recently.
Delulu.
Yeah, you're in Delulu to the point where you're like, well, I know this is not okay, right? And I can kind of feel like the minute you start feeling bad about something, or you're second guessing yourself, or the wheels are turning, not for you to enjoy that moment, that's what you should not be doing.
TJ?
I would agree. I think to your question, I think you're absolutely right. There should be a metric. I think the problem is, however, and I don't mean to, I hope I'm not coming off like I'm bashing the church, but this is just the truth. The church has done just a great job with blurring the metric, right? And so when you have a blurred metric, you have blurred methods.
That's true.
Right? So yes, sex before marriage, we all know as believers, we know that that is something that we are called to abstain from, right?
Mhm.
However, when we're talking about standards, right? A standard is something that is set for you to strive towards. But
Mhm.
if you know yourself and you try to reach and stretch over something and you know you're just not there yet, my question becomes, are you being true to who you are? And I'm not saying or giving pass for you to just live and do whatever. Please don't think that. However, you have to be honest with yourself and you have to be honest with God. And I just believe that if you are striving in the right direction, eventually you're gonna get there.
Get to the standard. Okay.
Yeah, eventually you're gonna get there. So
Okay. Good conversation. Are y'all enjoying the conversation in the chat? I hope. I mean, like, this is a great topic. So what we're gonna do, I'm getting messages and texts saying TJ is a phenomenal guest host. We're already getting the feedback. I'm like, people are texting me saying he's so good, you need to bring him back. So while we're on the TJ train, if you're not aware, TJ has released his very first debut single called Sovereign God. And what we're going to do, we're going to feature it. But before we do, can you tell the people just a little bit about Sovereign God, a little bit of background about where it came from, and then we're going to feature it for you.
Sure, yeah. So Sovereign God, it was one of the first songs that I had written in my life. And I have, long story short, my life wasn't peaches and cream. I've gone through so many things, and coming from a single parent home, I watched my mom get sick, and I watched her go through transition, and I watched her lifeless in ICU, and it was a tough time for me. My mom was my strength at the time. She was everything I knew, and I really needed something to hold me, because that was a moment where I wanted to go left. I wanted to engage in some things that maybe I should not have. I wanted to do a lot of things. And my life just seemed like it was out of control. But one night I was at home by myself, and I kept hearing this word, I kept hearing this voice in my head. And it said clearly, I am sovereign. Trust me. And ever since then, I didn't know what the word meant, and I started to go about my life trying to figure out what does this word mean. And as I started to write and be more involved in school, I had a choir teacher who kind of encouraged me to just write and then go back and look at it and see what's going on. So fast forward, I got with a man by the name of Cale Bailey, who is the producer over at MK Bailey Music Group, and he walked me through this process. And we came out with Sovereign God. And hey, I don't know what else to say. I'm excited. It is doing great. I'm hearing testimonies about people that are really deeper in their relationship with God just by these words to this simple song. So I'm excited for y'all to hear it. You can download it everywhere: iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, all those good things. I hope y'all enjoy it. I really do. Let's crown the king.
We serve an able God. Our God sits on the throne, and our God, He is sovereign. God, you are holy, and we kneel down before Thee. In power and majesty, Lord, you reign. God, you are holy, and we kneel down before Thee, in power and majesty. Lord, you reign. We bow down before Thee, in power and majesty. Lord, you reign. You are holy, and we bow down sovereignty. We worship your majesty and we crown you king. In your presence, we worship you. Somebody lift your voice. We crown you with our words. From the depths of my heart, we crown you king. Come on, lift your words. We crown you Lord. From the depths of our hearts, we crowned you king. We crowned you king. We crowned you king, Lord. Yes. We crowned. Come on, y'all, help me say right here. We crowned you king. Sovereign God.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It's like every time I hear that song, TJ, you can hear me. You try not to get tear up. And now that you know a little bit more behind the story behind the song, it just brings it to a whole nother dimension. So once again, that was Sovereign God by our lovely co-host, TJ Stewart. Go and purchase it, add it to your playlist. The QR code that you see every time you scan it, it'll take you directly to the link where you can download it, save it, purchase it. And with that being said, if you are an up and coming artist and you have some new music coming out, Living Single and Save will be honored to feature you. We just love to promote everyone. So if you have new music coming out and you just send us a message, text us, DM us saying, hey, I got some new music out, and we will be so tremendously honored to feature you here on Living Single and Save. But I'm here to do our budget breakdown, Mastering Your Money Matters. As you know, we try to build this show around each and every one of us. Steffi does nutrition. TJ is going to do some mental health tips for us. We're looking forward to experiencing that. But if you're not aware, my profession is in the finance arena, where I'm currently working as a senior finance analyst. And today I wanted to just give 3 tips about budgets. And the reason why is because I've been hosting different budget webinars. And lately I've been getting feedbacks from some of the attendees of how them implementing some of the things that we have discussed is starting to transform their finances. I recently went to New York to worship, and someone, I didn't even know her, but someone had purchased a slot for the budget webinar for her, and she attended, and she came up to me and introduced herself and was like, my name is such and such, and I took your budget class, and oh my God, it's working. She runs and gets her phone and shows me her whole bank account and says, look at my phone, look at my bank account, I have money saved. I've never had this much money in the bank, and I'm so excited to hear the feedbacks that it's helping. So today I want to talk about the benefits, just giving 3 quick benefits of why it is important for us to have a budget. Real quickly, a budget is just simply a tool that you use to compare your income and your expenses. But as simple as it is extremely necessary if you are one that desires to be financially free. 3 benefits. The first benefit of why a budget is essential is that it gives you control. Many people without a budget, when it comes to finances, we don't have a clear way of tracking our spending habits. And some of us, especially in this day and age, inflation is inflation. We have people that are filing their taxes, so we're in tax season where some of us, we're going to get a significant tax return, and some of us have already spent the money before it hits our bank account. And what I've noticed is if we don't have a budget in place, as quickly as that money comes, quickly that money will leave. And we believe that it is time for us to start building a financial legacy where we're not just living from paycheck to paycheck. So budget, when you implement a budget tool, it gives you control, because now you have a system in place where you are able to track all of your income, track all of your expenses. You would be amazed at how many people overestimate the amount of money they make, and you will be amazed of how many times we underestimate our expenses. So having a budget in place will give you control. The other benefit of having a budget in place is that it eliminates waste. I've had one person came back to me, was like, "Thank you so much, Amanda, for the budget class. I now realize that I've wasted a lot of money." And the only way she was able to come to that reality is because she had a budget where she was now tracking how much she was spending, and she realized that she was spending money on grocery, overspending, buying a lot of grocery, and the food was spoiling, and then she had to throw it out and go back and buy even more money. And after she implemented the budget, she started realizing, oh my God, I was wasting food, wasting money. So another benefit of having a budget is that you're able to eliminate those areas where we might be overspending or over splurging, to really be able to start moving to the third point that I have, which is a budget is an effective tool to achieve your financial goal. I always tell people it doesn't matter who you are, if you are a billionaire or if you're a homeless person, as long as you are alive, you have some form of financial goal, whether it be to make some more money, whether it be to become debt free, whether it might be you're saving for retirement. It doesn't matter who you are. You have some form of financial goal, and a budget, having an effective budget, will be a great tool to get you on the right track. So just wanted to give you those quick tips about what a budget is, some of the benefits is. And if you are interested in learning how to actually put together a budget, I will be hosting a budget webinar in April 27th at 10 a.m. It is a Saturday. Meet me. You can go to my website, Dixon Financial Service Group, and sign up. There is a cost because I'm not doing it for free. I'm sorry, my time is valuable. I'm just joking. But go to Dixon Financial Service Group and sign up. I'm going to be teaching about how to develop your financial goals and of how to create budgets in order to achieve those goals. In this season, y'all listen to me. In this season, we must start taking our finances serious. And in order to do that, you have to be deliberate. So start making the change today and start learning how to build a budget so that you can manage your finances at a new level. Okay. So that's our budget breakdown for this month. Hope it helps. If you have any questions, send me an email, send me a DM, and I'll be glad to help you as you go on your journey as achieving whatever financial goal you may have. Okay. So right now we're going to our commercial break, and then we're going to pick up our conversation. Hope you're enjoying this program.
If you desire to grow in the area of intercession, sign up for our winter session today. Take your prayer life to a higher level. The School of Intercession is a free 4-week course that teaches the body of Christ how to develop an intimate relationship with Him. For more information, visit our website at www.latterrainapww.org. Join us virtually on April 4th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our quarterly apostolic gathering of intercessors. This is a global clarion call to all intercessors. We will be using the scriptures to strategize and develop solutions to conquer the 7 mountains through prayer. Visit www.latterrainapw.org to register to receive the Zoom link.
So welcome back, everyone. As you are aware, if you're just joining in, we've been having a very necessary and much needed conversation circling around the topic of vetting properly. And our main character, our main story was about the woman that went viral on TikTok, where her series was, "Who the heck did I marry?" And we were talking about the different nuances that prevented her from vetting. But long story short, after she got into a relationship, she got married to the guy. She found out that he was a pathological liar. That mentally, so I'm segueing, that mentally something was wrong with this character that she married. And people asked her, "Well, why are you telling your stories now? Why now?" And her stand was, "I'm telling my story because I want other people to learn from my mistake." And the other thing that I found interesting is that after the story went viral, all of a sudden people started they tracked down the real guy because she had used fake names. They tracked down the real guy, and then they even tracked down the ex-wife. And the ex-wife comes out. See, Stephanie, the ex-wife comes out, and I don't know if y'all saw this, but if you didn't, you gotta see. She came out and was like, "I'm trying to move past that. I've learned to rebuild my life, and it was a traumatic experience, and I'm just glad I was able to heal and overcome." You could see like the trauma and I'm like, what is this guy doing to these women? So this is the whole gist of what we're talking about. So this woman failed to vet correctly. Learning from her mistakes, what are some things we can implement to make sure that we are vetting correctly? That's my question for y'all.
Have standards, definitely, right? Have standards. Try to get to know the person's character way before you tell them they can move in with you or then marry them. Okay, if you don't know their character and you're gonna tell them, "Come on, pull up, like let's make a home and a house," like something's wrong there. And then just going over what we were saying before, right? You don't want things to get too serious too fast. So for me personally, I told y'all how I feel about certain things, but you have to know yourself, definitely give yourself enough space. Honestly, the trick is start having fun with this person and then don't ghost them, but let them know, "Hey, I don't know where this is going. You were trying to move too fast if they're the ones moving too fast, or you felt you were moving too fast," right? Let's take a little space, or truthfully just start asking the real questions that you want to know, because they will exit faster. If you ask the real questions that you want to know right away, they will exit so fast, so you don't even have to feel bad about it. That's my take.
TJ?
I agree. I think, and this might be a heavy one, but I'm gonna say it. You have to be authentic about your value. Be authentic about your value. I think one thing that society has done, and I've noticed, is that society has made it so that you have to only think the highest of yourself. I mean, way in the raptures, right? And respectfully, everybody is just not there. You understand what I'm saying? And so you put out this, I'm this, I'm that, I'm all this, and just the facts are that's not who you are right now. It's okay to say this is who I will be, right? But that's not who I am now. I'm not that person now. And so if you are authentic and truthful and honest about yourself, about the value that you bring, right, then you will then begin to be more truthful in your interactions with said person, because it'll bring about a realness to say, "Hey, this is where I want to be," right? But but this is where I am right now. And so how can we come together, right? And we both reach our personal goals together.
Mhm, mhm. It makes sense.
That's
And
what I'm saying.
it makes sense. And I'll say this from a veteran standpoint because I two things when it comes to dating. I know that there are some people that I saw someone says ask them to go to church. I know that I'm laughing because I'm like, so it'll be some of the people that be in church that they be in hell. So I don't know. That's a that's a different conversation. Though. But I
Hey,
No, but it'll make them run. If you ask somebody to go to church, it'll make them run.
if they're not serious about God, they would. So that does weed out certain demographic. The other thing that I would say is I am someone who's single that has never been married before. So just because I've never been there before, I might not know the proper questions to ask because I've never been there before. So another safeguard that you probably could implement is surrounding yourself with people who are where you want to go. Like I have my sister, she's married, and she'll give me those pep talks saying, "Hey, when you're vetting someone, ask this question." And I was like, I wouldn't even have even thought to even ask that question. It just wouldn't have even crossed my mind to ask some of the questions that I would have asked, that she was saying, look, ask this. You, when they answer this, you'll be able to get this, that, and a third. And it's because she's been through that process. She's married and she's like, look for this, look for that. So I think another safeguard that you can implement is making sure that you surround yourself with people who are where you want to be or who have gone through that experience so that they can kind of coach you. I'm surrounded by a lot of married women and men that they're like, hey, look out for this, look out for that, ask this question, and they help me formulate my questions so that whenever I'm evaluating someone that I'm like, oh, okay, I get it, I know what to do. So I just wanted to throw that out there as a safeguard that you can have as single individuals. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I
Definitely.
think I think you're spot on with that. And if I had to add one more thing,
Mhm.
I would just simply say be open to a bad experience. And what I mean by that is don't go in it automatically thinking it's going to be good.
Yes.
Because
Another thing we do too as well, TJ, I'm sorry to cut you off,
oh,
but
yeah.
remind me to talk about the Christian woman syndrome.
Oh,
Any man we see like that's my husband.
yeah, yeah. And you know what? I can't let you just talk about the women. It's a Christian man syndrome too.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, she wears heels and she got a shout on her. Oh man, that's my wife right there. She knows the word. That is my wife. She knows the word. She has a Bible. Like she has the Bible app on her phone. It's a lot of different things. So it's both ways. It's both ways.
So this is what we're gonna do. As you guys know, I've been getting messages saying TJ is phenomenal. For those who are not aware, one thing that TJ is exceptionally passionate about is mental health. So right now, TJ is going to give us our mental health tip of the month. So TJ, we're turning it over to you. Oh.
Guy,
I don't messed up. I'm the messed up. I'm removing me. I done removed you.
Is that how you treat guests? Come on now.
Good.
Yeah. Hey everybody. Again, I am TJ. I just want to say thank you all so very much for inviting me into your space, into your homes, and into your cars, on your job, wherever you may be. This is just a moment we like to call the mental edge, unleashing your inner strength. And today we're just going to talk about two words. Take time. Simply put, take time. Throughout this journey of life, we all go through many different things, good and bad. And it is so important for us to understand that we have to take time to remember those lessons that we learned, remember the triumphs of our lives, but we also have to remember those trials and tribulations that we have gone through. It plays a big part on your mental when you are constantly rushing through life. You're constantly rushing, pushing through from this event to this event, from this great triumph to this great triumph. It is very it's very hard on your mental when you are not in a place to where you can pause and you can say, take time. And so I want to also offer this to you. It's good for you to take time, but don't time travel. What does that mean? What that means is you have to be honest with yourself about how strong you are going back through your memory to certain moments and situations, right? We always hear everybody say, take time, do your thing. Remember those moments. Remember how you felt. Remember where you came from. And yes, that is very, very good, but you have to be strong enough to go back there. And the problem is some of us are not strong enough to go back through the things and remember the things that God has brought us from. It's wonderful to understand and acknowledge that, yes, God has brought us to this new place in life. God has brought us to this new podium of life. But at the same time, you have to be real with yourself and say, I am going to leave this in my past and I am going to move forward. A quote I wanted to leave with you is, time is one of the things that God blesses us with, but the response to our trials and tribulations can take away. That is so very important. Time is so very important. Isaiah 43:18 says it like this: remember ye not the former things, and consider not the things of old. And then it follows with verse 19 and says, for behold, I will do a new thing. And so I'll let you know, yes, take the time, remember those things, remember where you were, remember those traumatic experiences, but at the same time, don't time travel, don't get stuck, because God has greater for you. God has more for you, and you have to be able to see it with a clear mind and understand it with an open heart. So that's my mental edge moment for you. Take time, but don't time travel.
Attention, innovators, entrepreneurs, community, and industry leaders. Are you looking for an unparalleled opportunity to elevate your brand and promote your business? Look no further than the upcoming 2024 Worship and Prayer Conference hosted by Latter Rain. As a sponsor of this year's conference, your organization will be promoted to a global audience through commercial runs on all Latter Rain programs, as well as be displayed throughout the conference. Whether you're a startup looking to gain visibility or an established brand seeking to reinforce your presence, we have sponsorship packages tailored to suit your goals and budget. From silver to premium packages, there's a tier that fits your needs. Proceeds from your sponsorship will be essential in aiding with the creation of the Catalina Foundation Transitional House for the Homeless Community. Make an impact today and become a sponsor by visiting www.latterrainapww.org. Become a partner today and unlock the potential to propel your brand to new heights. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity.
Oh my God, TJ! I love that mental edge. Oh my goodness.
Awesome.
Take time. Steffi, what you thought about that?
Definitely. I loved it. I loved it. Especially since we're always just going, we're always just wanting to go, but sometimes it's the inhale and exhale that honestly can reset you.
I love it, TJ. I think the audience is just loving him. They are loving you, TJ. And I think that's also one of the solution that Tessa, that's the star of our TikTok show, that would have actually helped her, had she slowed down. Even we're talking about, are we vetting properly? Taking time to really get to know that individual is also a level of element that helps you be able to vet a potential partner. Like I'm starting to believe that for me, because we live in a day and age where we're in the social media era where people tend to put on a facade to try to impress you and all that stuff. I'm starting to really adopt a mindset saying, you know what, I am I'm comfortable if I start out with a friendship with somebody, like we're just platonic friends, no experience, no expectation, and allowing that to organically grow into something else because I'm taking the amount of time to get to know who that person is. I get
Yeah.
to see, as that person's friend, I get to see them when they're angry. I get to see them when they're upset. And there's not a pressure of them trying to impress me because we're just friends. We're literally just friends. So I get to see them in all these different elements. And should that grow into something else, I think I will be able to spot all of the red flags and all of that different nuances that Tessa might have missed when she was dating Legion. That's the code name that she gave him, Legion. And then she just figured out later on that he literally had lesions. And
My God. My God.
any final comments, y'all? Well, I mean, we're getting to the end. What y'all thought? Any final comments on topic of today? On today's topic.
I think today's conversation was a very, very awesome, mature, and needed conversation. I will leave our listeners with this one thought. At the end of the day, it's you that have to go through this. It is you that are making decisions for your life. And some of us follow God. And if we're honest, some of our listeners don't, right?
That's true.
Not all of our listeners are Christians. So whether you follow God or you don't, at the end of the day, this is your life. And you have to take value in your life. Don't be afraid to ask those questions like we talked about. Don't be afraid to have those hard, tough conversations. I'm telling you from experience, those hard, tough conversations leads to great relationship, leads to strong relationship. You will be surprised at how a conversation that may be uncomfortable, that may be hard, that may end in some feelings, right? But at the end of the day, it builds you up. It builds that friendship like Manny was talking about, and it really moves things further. The last thing I would say is be open to things looking different.
That's good.
Don't allow what your great grandmother, it's your grandmother or your grandfather have embedded in you. Don't allow that to be the only picture. This is 2024. Like I said, men are different. I still believe in good men. There are good men out there. I promise you. There are men waiting to be husbands. There are strong men, Christian men, waiting to treat you just the way you want to be treated. So don't give that up. And my final thing is, don't look at the money. Look at the priorities.
Hey, must be the money.
Look at the priorities. Is this man making you a notch on his priority list? And if so, you won't see it, you'll feel it.
Oh, that's awesome. Steffi?
Definitely don't be scared to allow people to see your scars and your wounds, right? Through this entire thing, I think Amanda at some point also said that the lady, because we're kind of basing it off of her stuff, she had stuff that probably was her little wounds and scars. And so her cover up was, I need to get somebody to fill this void or to cover this scar. You don't need anyone to cover the scars. First, look at your scars, see what they are, examine yourself and figure out, how can I make this better? Because when you heal those scars on your own and those wounds, and I love analogies, so I'll be saying it all day, it's going to actually affect the other person. If they have wounds, if they have scars, they're going to be okay with bringing it to the forefront as well. That's one. Authenticity, definitely. Come as yourself, even if you are made fun of for walking in there with your homeless clothes. Be you, okay? Or no makeup. Be you. I'm not doing it's not for myself. It's for everybody. Right? No, but seriously, be you, because at the end of the day, you don't want 3-4 months down the line, or even years down the line, somebody to say, that persona that I met you with is not the persona that you have now. Also with that, don't be afraid to grow. Because a lot of people are so scared to grow, okay, that every little thing that pulls you in a different direction or every little correction, the quickest thing for you to do is to run and hide from it. No, we're on this journey together. That's why Single and Saved was kind of founded, because too many people are out here trying to live the life that everyone else tells them that they should live. But you have your own life, right? Each day, find a page that you want to rewrite, or a page that you want to start from fresh, like whatever it is, and just write this journey. Like, have fun with it. Don't be so scared that everyone is like, you have to do this because you're a Christian. You have to do that because then you'll get stuffy and want to run away. Let's be real, right?
Yeah.
So take the time and be you, be authentically you.
Mhm.
And then if the people around you don't love you for you, they're lost. I'm sorry.
You know, we talked about standard, and I'm gonna correct this, Steffi. We are putting this standard in place for first dates. You cannot wear homeless feet in clothes. Like, I just don't understand this. Like, you see how she tried to slide that in there, teacher. Talking about, well,
Yes.
this is the standard, and I need you to rise to that standard of no homeless feet in clothes on the first date. We're not budging, right, TJ? We could take a vote. We're
Yeah.
not doing it.
I second that.
Steffi, you cannot. I mean, this is ridiculous. You saw she tried to slide that in. I caught
Real
it.
slick, real slick. Just, you know,
Just
real
slid it
slick.
in there. But I want to say something about are we vetting properly? Because we have an audience here. Is one thing I'll say: don't be afraid of the no's.
Yeah.
Do not be afraid of the no's. When we're dating, you're gonna be exposed to different characters or different people, and they're gonna be more no's than yes, because you're gonna get married to that one person, right? So you may come across different people, and it might just not work out. You might date someone, and it might not lead to marriage. And guess what? It might be a no. But I always believe that there might be safety in those rejection. There's a level of protection that God will allow a relationship to come to an end, or an interaction with someone to come to an end, because he knows technically this person is a nut job and you can't vet correctly. So I'm going to allow something to happen for that to be a separation. And because we're human being, we are emotion, we might not understand all of that dynamic. But I'll always lean on all things work together for the good. In the end, it's all for my good. So for us that we're vetting, and we might be evaluating, is this person a good person, or is this person for me? And there might be a demise where that relationship, or it doesn't mature into something else, and it comes to an end. It's okay for the no's. I
Yeah.
strongly believe there's protection in there when
Yeah.
a door closes. You guys think?
Absolutely. I agree. Just be open to, like she said, just be open to whatever comes. But that doesn't mean you have to deal and take anything either. Be honest with yourself. Embrace your beauty, ladies. Embrace your manhood, men. I'll say that again. Embrace your manhood. One more time. Embrace your manhood. And really just do the thing. I believe that God has anointed us to navigate this side of our lives. So trust in Him and trust your judgment. Know what you want. Be like Steffi and don't bend. Simply
Except for
put.
the homeless feeding clothes, TJ. She need to bend on
Yeah,
that.
yeah, of course.
Bend on that. Okay.
Hey guys, let's all clarify this, because Amanda keeps saying this is
Uh-oh.
homeless feeding clothes. It is not. Anyways,
Yes, it was. We got the tape. Go. If y'all don't understand where this comes from, y'all go and watch the second episode where Steffi shares her story of how she went to feed the homeless and wore the same clothes on a day. It's you wore that clothes in your home. So that's the background noise. I hope y'all enjoy.
Let me just say this before we end this, okay? So recently this dropped in my spirit, and you guys kind of,
yeah.
I think it will sum it up beautifully. So rejection is for your protection, because it's for your projection.
Oh,
your
that's
next.
good.
You're next. You got to allow it to happen. It's going to be painful, but endure that pain, because if we are to pick up our crosses and follow Jesus, they're going to be pain. Right? They're going to be pain. That's all I got.
Beautiful. I hope did y'all enjoy TJ here? Would you guys like to see TJ come back? I think everyone. TJ, did you enjoy your time with us today?
I thought it was amazing, man. I thought it was amazing. This is the first time I've done something like this, so I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much for inviting me on your platform. Thank you all so much for supporting my music, TJ Stewart and Worship One Music. I really, really, really appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. Man, you have been there since the recording, and so I am just so thankful. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. To Latter Rain and Prophetess Giselle, I am so very honored that I was able to share this moment with you guys. So I'm excited. This was great.
We may have to bring you back, TJ. We may have to just make you a permanent host on here because you're such a perfect fit, such a perfect fit. But what we're gonna do, TJ, if you don't mind, can you close us out in prayer to cover us and cover anyone that might have been in the audience this conversation might have helped them in some way, shape, or form? Can you say a quick prayer for us as we're getting ready to close?
Sure. Yes. I want to say to anybody that is listening, all jokes aside, listen, I want to offer Christ to you tonight, wherever you may be. I'm not trying to be churchy, but this is real. Life is short. We don't know when our end will be. And so I just want to offer Christ to you tonight. If that is you, if you are one who wants a relationship with Christ and you want to be saved, you can be saved tonight. You can DM us or you can just drop it in the comments and we'll see it. But if not, let's pray. Father God, we thank you so very much. God, we're so thankful for this moment. God, we're so thankful for the time that you have given us together. Now, God, let something that was said today, an opinion that was shared, some wisdom that was shared tonight, help somebody somewhere. God, this is the purpose of this. God, we are coming together. These ladies have come together just to really be a blessing to you. And so, God, we just say, bless our efforts, God. Bless the efforts. God, touch everybody that tuned in tonight and help them to be better than what they were before. God, we love you tonight, and we thank you so very much. It is in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen.
Amen. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's conversation. We will be back first Sunday in April. Everyone is like, man, we got to wait a whole month. We're working on it. We're working on it. But meet us back here again first Sunday in April. We come every first Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are here building a community. Right? What'd you say?
Communion Sunday.
Communion Sunday. Exactly. After you take Communion Sunday. So meet us back again. Hope you enjoyed this conversation. Once again, TJ, thank you. You were such a blessing on today. And we may have to have a conversation about working it out where you can come back again. I think the audience loved you, enjoyed you. Once again, go out and support TJ purchases. Are you working on new music?
I am working on some new music, so hopefully, prayerfully by the summertime, it'll be complete. So we're in the creative stages now. So I'm excited. It's gonna be an EP called The King's Crowning. So
that's gonna be awesome.
Really nice. It's gonna be really, really nice.
Exciting news. So TJ, we're going to be looking out for it. We believe in supporting you. Once again, if you are an artist in the audience and you have new music out, we will be so honored to feature your song on the podcast. Let us know. If you are a business owner and you would like to have your brand out there, let us know. We just ask that you help us feed the homeless so that we can market you to our audience. We believe in just being supportive of everyone. So let us know how you're making an impact on the community, and whatever Living Single Safe can do from our end, we will be so tremendously honored to be a partner with you. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Till next time, have a good night. Bye, everybody.
This is a Latter Rain production, the Living Single and Saved podcast, hosted by Mandy and Steffi. We are a safe space for a community of believers who are passionate about living life according to biblical standards while navigating everyday challenges encountered by singles. Tune in every first Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Program will be streamed live via YouTube, Facebook, and the Latter Rain website. For more information, please visit www.ladder.rain.apww.org.
Where little someone said